Hey, this is Vu, and today I wanted to take a look at the Dualies. If you've watched my stream at all, you've probably seen me talk about the Dualies before. It's a gun that I think has been criminally underrated for a very long period of time, and there are a few players that have started to pick this thing up on certain maps in certain situations. One of the most obvious ones would be Hut on Nuke, where players are really realizing that the Dualies having 30 bullets, potential to one-shot headshot, and ridiculous spam ability has made them actually relatively viable in a lot of different spots, but especially when you look at pistol rounds. Now, if you look at a certain player, his name is Steel, he actually uses these on ecos in general. I'm not certain that that's really a great position for them. However, they do seem to have their certain upsides, and they can definitely get a good amount of damage done. Now, in the best case scenario, the dualies are relatively accurate at range. You can shoot them and definitely do something when you're at a reasonably long range. It's not better than the USP or even, nearly as good as it to any reasonable extent. However, it is reasonably accurate, and it means you're not completely out of your depth when you're against a longer range. However, mostly you're looking at ranges like this. From where I am towards tunnels here, this is a relatively good distance, especially because the dualies don't really have a very long headshot range. They're not going to one-shot headshot someone from a very long range. It's going to have to be a little bit closer than that for it to work. However, when you get in these ranges against full stack pushes, they're some of the best guns in the game. And the reason for that is that you can pretty accurately spam all 30 bullets. So if I look at a wall here from a fairly similar range, I can simply pull down, and you can see that my bullets are all coming in a pattern here as I've pulled down. Now the first ones are fairly accurate, takes a little bit, and once you get into a good spot, you can be moving back and forth spamming with fairly good accuracy. It's going to be, that's a fairly tight circle for shooting dualies as fast as physically possible while moving. You're going to hit a good amount of headshots if you're close enough distance with this type of spam. And because of that, it's great for positions, as I said, like Hut on Nuke, where there's likely multiple players coming out of one position. I mean, if you're expecting a B rush, even something like Dust 2 here, B, if you had a smoke down and you're killing people as they're coming through the smoke, they are fantastic at that type of thing as well. Somewhere like Connector on Overpass, these can absolutely find value on pistol rounds specifically, and I think they can find value on anti-ecos as well. If you're ever on an anti-eco where you're expecting your opponents to likely not have head armor, these are a fantastic gun specifically because of how weak they are against armor. You can pick these up and you can have this player kind of jump into a bomb site as if you would do it with a Mac 10 sometimes, where you find out just information gathering on that bomb site. You can do that with dualies as well, and that information gathering is great because you actually don't even give them a Mac 10, which has a potential, $600 kill reward. You do it with dualies where you're unlikely to be getting any kills with the dualies against, rifles with head armor, and you're unlikely to really want to use them because they don't have the $600 kill reward either. So you don't gain very much of anything at all, unless, you're upgrading maybe from a USP where these would clearly be at least a little bit better. But I just wanted to make this video to really kind of point out the dualies are a pretty viable gun, specifically on pistol rounds, and specifically if you get someone to drop you armor, or if you go dually smoke and play them in a location like, if you are aware that you're going to be soloing B, like your team is doing like a 3-man mid push on Dust 2 here, you could definitely use them here. Use them on Hut, on Nuke, just in a normal situation. Even without armor, you go top Hut and you can spam a lot of people down. You can use them Connector on Overpass, toss a smoke down, and if they try and run through, you can catch them as well. There's definitely some specific situations where the dualies are very strong, and I think they're underutilized in the pro scene, although it is starting to be picked up. I think these have been pretty valuable for quite a long time. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.